In our previous video, I explained the format of balance sheet, and it consists of two sides, liabilities and assets. And now I explain how to prepare a balance sheet out of a question. Okay, for better understanding, keep this format at the time of solving the question, then it will be useful to understand the things easily. So here is a question. The question is, prepare a balance sheet from the following for the year ended 31st December 2020. So some items are here: land and building, capital, machinery, furniture. Several items are here, and you are asked to prepare a balance sheet. Okay, at the first step, we should identify what are the items to be shown on the asset side and liability side. I just ticked the items which are to be considered on the asset side, and the liability side items remained unticked. Okay, look at here. Land and building is an asset. If you refer the format, you can see that. Just refer the format, and you can see that land and building is an asset. Okay, in this way, keep this format with yourself, and then check the items in the question. So, land and building is an asset. Machinery, asset. Furniture, asset. I am reading only the ticked items. Okay. Insurance prepaid, it is also an asset. See, in the format of the balance sheet, there is an item, prepaid expense. Remember, prepaid expense means any expense paid in advance. That is called a prepaid expense. It is to be shown on the asset side. So, this insurance prepaid, insurance is an expense and it is prepaid. So, it is to be shown on the asset side. Then closing stock is an asset. Sundry debtors, bills receivable, another asset. Then cash at a bank, cash in hand. So these ticked items are assets. Okay, and the unticked items means capital, net profit, drawings, bank loan, bills payable, sundry creditors. These unticked items are to be shown on the liability side. Okay, so first identify these things, and thereafter we can prepare a balance sheet. Now come to this balance sheet. Balance sheet as on 31st December 2020. It is given in the question to prepare balance sheet for the year ended 31st December 2020. Okay, that is why we show a heading like this: balance sheet as on 31st December 2020. Okay, then left hand side liability and right hand side assets. We ticked all the items to be shown on the asset side. This land and building, machinery, furniture, so on. These ticked items are to be shown on the asset side. Just write these ticked items on the asset side. Land and building, machinery, furniture, insurance prepaid, closing stock, sundry debtors, bills receivable, cash at bank, cash in, all the ticked items are shown on the asset side. Similarly, all unticked items represent liability, isn't it? The first item is capital. While showing this capital, if you refer the format, while writing this capital, the capital is to be taken in the inner column, and net profit is to be added with that. Interest on capital, if any, should be added. Then after adding these three items, deduct drawings and interest on drawings. Okay, but in our question, there is no interest on capital and interest on drawings, but the capital, net profit and drawings are here. Capital, then net profit and drawings are here. Okay, so write these things like this. Take capital in the inner column 30,000, add net profit 7,000, then 37,000. Then deduct drawings out of this amount 3,000, and the net amount is shown on the outer column 34,000. Right? So we have written this capital, net profit and drawings. Okay. Other items to be shown on the liability side are bank loan, then salary outstanding. If you refer the format, you can see that on the liability side there is an item outstanding expenses. That means any expense outstanding. Outstanding means due but not paid. The expense is due, but we not paid that amount, which is not a outstanding expense, and it is a liability. As it is payable, it is a liability. So it is to be shown on the liability side. Here, in the question there is salary outstanding. Salary is an expense and it is outstanding, so it is to be shown on the liability side. And the bills payable, then sundry creditors. So all these items are liabilities which are shown here. Bank loan, salary outstanding, bills payable, sundry creditors, all are shown here. Okay. After posting all the items on the respective sides, all assets are on the asset side, identify from the question assets and liabilities first, then post all the assets on the asset side and all the liabilities on the liability side. While writing this capital, net profit drawings, do like this. Okay. Then total both the columns. Total both the columns. Okay. The total of assets and total of liabilities should be same. Here the total of asset 80,200 and the total of liability also 80,200. Okay. So the total should be same on both the sides. So liabilities and asset side total should be the same. Then we say that the balance sheet tallied. Okay. So always balance sheet get tallied, and that means the assets and liabilities total should be same. If it is not same, then it means there is some error in the solution. Okay. So after drawing this balance sheet, check the total and the total must be same. That means the balance sheet must tally. Okay. And we just wrote up a balance sheet here from the question, from a simple balance sheet from a question. But in the next one, we prepare final statements, means the trading account, profit and loss account, and balance sheet from one question. Okay, I explain that in the next video. And if you have any doubts regarding this topic, just WhatsApp your doubt to this number 924996675. Okay.